Welcome students. Today we will take fifth problem on orthographic projections. So let us start the lecture. Now we are given one object and we are asked to draw its front view and top view in first angle of projection. We know whenever we have to draw projections of an object, the very first step is that we should first identify its front face. Now in this particular picture we are given one arrowhead. It is marked as F. So we will consider this side of the object as front side. So we will assume that observer is standing this side. So this is the front side of the object. As we have to draw this problem in first angle of projection, that means we have to consider that object is in the first quadrant. So if observer is standing this side and we are drawing in the first quadrant, that means position of VP will be behind the object and position of HP will be below the object. Now before the start of the answer, we have to identify the dimensions as well. Now we know if observer is standing this side, then dimensions from left to right of the observer are called as length dimensions, and dimensions moving in upward direction are height dimensions, and dimensions moving away from the observer are called as width dimensions. Now let us first discuss about its front view. So let us identify how many faces we have to draw in the front view. So far we have covered 4 problems on orthographic projections and we have seen parallel faces, perpendicular faces, inclined faces, hidden faces as well. And in this particular object we have curved faces. In the previous problem also there was curved face in that problem. Now in this problem also we have curved faces. Okay, over here let us see how many faces will be visible from front. So from front there will be 3 faces visible to us. First is this U-shaped face. Second will be this cylindrical portion, that is curved surface. And third will be this cylindrical portion, that is curved surface. Apart from these 3 surfaces, there are holes also in this object. So there are 3 holes at 3 different locations and we have to represent these 3 holes as hidden in the front view because these 3 holes are not visible from front. So let us start with the visible faces first and let us start with the parallel faces first. It means we will start with this face and let us pick its lower left corner and let us mark this point on our paper. And from this point we have to draw a length of 44 millimeters. So it means on our paper first of all we will draw a length of 44 millimeters. Then we will reach up to this point and from this point we have to move in upward direction. For that we have to draw a vertical height of 48 millimeters. So from this point we will draw a vertical line of 48 millimeters. So we have reached to this point. Now we have to move towards left. And let us see how much is this length. This length is mentioned over here as 8 millimeters. So from this point we will move towards left by 8 mm. So from this point we have moved or we have drawn a thick line of 8 millimeters. Now we have reached to this point. From this point we will draw a vertical line in downward direction and let us see how much will be the height of this line. You can see the total height of the object is mentioned as 48 and this is mentioned as 8 from the bottom. It means this height is 40 millimeters. So from this point we will draw a thick vertical line in downward direction and the length of that line will be 40 millimeters. So we have reached up to this point. Now from this point we will sketch a continuous thick line towards left and we will take the length of that line as 28 millimeters. So from this point we will draw a thick line of 28 millimeters. So we have reached up to this point. Now from this point we will draw a vertical line of 40 millimeters in upward direction. So from this point we will draw a vertical line of 40 millimeters in upward direction. So we have reached to this point. Now again we have to travel 8 mm towards left. So from this point we will draw a thick line of 8 millimeters. Then we will connect these 2 points and this height will be 48 millimeters. So we are ready with the first face. Now we will plot other visible faces. And we know that in this particular object, the other two visible faces are curved surfaces. Or we can say this is a horizontal cylinder. This is a horizontal cylinder. So when you will look at cylinder which is lying horizontally, you will see its curved surface as a rectangle. It means the front view of this curved surface will be a rectangle. Now what will be the height of that rectangle? The height of that rectangle will be equal to the diameter of this cylinder, which is 24 millimeters. And length of that rectangle will be equal to the length of this cylinder, which is 15 millimeters. Okay, so for this particular phase, we have concluded that we have to draw a rectangle of length 15 millimeters and height 24 millimeters. But now next question arises that at what point in the front view we should draw that rectangle. That means we have to locate the position of this cylinder with respect to this first face. So let us search its location in the diagram. Now you can see a similar cylinder is there on the right side as well. And the center of that cylinder is marked as 20 millimeters from this surface. So it means the center of these two cylinders is at 20 millimeters from this surface. So what we will do now, from this surface or from this edge, we will measure 20 millimeters in our direction, and from that point we will sketch a center line, that is a chain thin line. So we have drawn a center line, or we can say we have located the center of this cylinder from this surface, and it is at 20 millimeters, and we have located that by drawing a center line. Now we have to construct a rectangle whose height will be 24, and we have to divide that height on both sides. It means from this center line, 12 above the center line and 12 below the center line. So from this point we will measure 12 in our direction. So from that point we will sketch the length of the rectangle, and what will be that length? That will be 15. So again I am repeating, from this point move 12 mm in our direction, and from that point draw a length of 15 millimeters. So see, we have moved 12 mm in our direction from the center line because it is half of the total height of the rectangle, and from that point we have drawn 15 mm length, which is this length of this curved surface. Now similarly from this center line we will measure 12 mm in downward direction, and from that point we will sketch another length of 15 millimeters. Now we will join these two points with a thick line, so we get a rectangle over here, which is the front view of this curved surface. Now after this, what we will do, we have to locate the third visible surface, that is the similar surface. So we will follow same method, means from this base we will move 20 mm in our direction and we will draw a center line. Then from that point we'll measure 12 millimeters in downward direction, and from that point we'll sketch a length of 15. Then from the center line we'll measure 12 millimeters in upward direction, and from that point we'll sketch a length of 15. Then we'll join these two points to get a rectangle which is representing front view of this curved surface. Now you can see we are ready with all the visible faces. Now it's time to represent these hidden holes. There are three hidden holes. The two holes are in these two cylinders. So let us start with this particular hole first. Now you can see the diameter of this hole is 14 millimeters and its depth is not mentioned to us. So what we have to do, we have to look for some other portion of the object, and when you will look at this portion of the object, you will find that this hole is shown here as well, which is for that cylinder. So this tells us that this particular hole is throughout, means this hole exists in 15 mm length and in 8 mm length as well. So this hole is in both the plates. So what we will do, we will plot this hole by two dashed lines, means because when we look at this hole from front side, we cannot see this hole, but ray of sight will strike at this corner and at this end I should say, and second ray of sight will strike at this end. So we need to represent this curve with two lines, that is from this diametric end we will draw first uh, hidden line, and from that diametric end we will draw second hidden line. So what we will do, from this center line we will measure 7 mm in upward direction. We will mark a point here, and from the same center line we will measure 7 mm in downward direction. We will mark a point. So we have divided the diameter, which is 14 mm, on both sides of the center line. Then we will sketch two hidden lines at that distance. So this particular hidden line is representing this edge of the hole, and this hidden line is representing this edge of the hole, or we can say the limiting element of the hole. So we are drawing it with the dash medium line, and we have drawn these two edges in these two plates because we know the hole is through, it is in both the plates. And over here one important point we have to understand. First point is related to the depth of the hole. In this figure, this particular hole gave us the confirmation that this hole is in both the plates. But suppose you get some problem, and in that problem only hole is given, its diameter is given, and no other confirmation is there in the object. Then in that case, if depth of the hole is not mentioned, then also you will assume that that particular hole exists in both the plates. Okay, so we know that this object is symmetric. Whatever we have on the left side, same we have on the right side. It means we will repeat this hole in this particular cylinder as well. So from center line, measure 7 mm on both sides of the center line and draw two dash medium lines at that distance. So now we have represented these two holes. Now the next is the representation of this hole. Earlier these two holes were horizontal to the observer, but now this hole is vertical to the observer. So now let us represent this particular hole. Now if you will see this hole, only its dia 10 is mentioned, and this hole is not even visible properly to us. As I said in the previous lectures, that this is the limitation of isometric views. In isometric views, some portion of the object may not be completely visible to you. But this much is sufficient. We have a curve and we have some dimension, and it says dia 10. So that means there is a hole, and again its depth is not mentioned, so we'll assume that this hole is in this particular height, that is 8 millimeters. So first of all we have to locate it in this particular surface. Again we cannot locate it because no other dimension is visible to us. So if nothing is visible, we will assume that this particular hole is exactly in the center of this face. So this face length is 28 millimeters. So at half, that is at 14 millimeters, we will draw a center line and we will represent this hole. And in order to represent this hole, we have to draw two dash medium lines, and those will be vertical lines. Why? Because in this case, the hole is a vertical hole. In the previous cases, holes were horizontal holes, so we were drawing horizontal dash medium lines, but now hole is vertical hole, so we have to draw two dash medium vertical lines. Now diameter of the hole is 10 millimeters, so that means from this center line we will measure 5 mm this side and 5 mm on the other side, and at those two distances we will draw two dash medium lines. Now you can see we are ready with the front view of this object. Now after this, what we need to do, we need to draw reference line, and we know that we are solving this problem in first angle of projection. That means reference line will lie below the front view, because in first angle of projection we keep front view above the reference line, and we know that we should leave at least one row gap, or you can say 10 millimeter gap from the front view to draw the reference line. Let us label it as capital X, capital Y. Now the next step is, from all the points of the front view, we need to draw continuous thin lines in downward direction. These lines are called as projectors or projection lines. These projectors must be continuous thin, and these should be parallel to each other and perpendicular to the reference line. Now after drawing the projectors, we have to work for the top view. Now let us see how we have to find its top view. Now we know this is the front side of the object, observer is standing this side. If observer is standing this side, we have to maintain same direction, but now we have to look from top. So same direction is maintained, but we are looking from top. Now rules are again same, we have to search for the faces which are parallel to HP and inclined to HP, because we can see only those faces from top. So when we will look from top, we will find that there are three parallel faces: first, second, and third. Now, after these three faces, we have to see is there any other face parallel or inclined to the surface or any visible face. Then we will see that there are two curved surfaces as well for this cylindrical portions. So these two curved surfaces will also be visible from top. It means we have concluded that when we will look at this object from top, we need to represent five faces. These three parallel faces and two curved surfaces. Apart from these five faces, we have holes also in this particular object, and these two holes which are horizontal, these will be hidden to us because these will not be visible from top, but this particular hole will be directly visible to us. So let us start with the parallel faces first, and let us start with this face first. So we know that whenever we have to draw top view, we have to draw it below the reference line. That means we have to choose that face which is close to the reference line or close to VP. So these three faces, all three are close to VP. They are at same location. So you can start with any face. Okay, let us start from this particular face first. And in order to draw this face in the top view, we know that rule is same. Again, we have to first see how many points are there. There are 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of these 4 points, we have to pick that point which is close to VP, because we are drawing below the reference line. That means close to VP. So there are 2 points in this plane close to VP. You can pick any one out of these two. Let us pick this point and let us locate this in the front view. And you will find that this point is exactly behind this point, and this point in the front view is over here. That means we have to select this projector. So on this projector we'll mark a point, and from that point we will sketch its length of 8 millimeters. So from this point we will sketch a length of 8 millimeters, and after that we have to move towards this point. It means we have to cover this width. How much is this width? It is 36. So from this point we will draw its width as 36. We have reached to this point, and then we will draw its length of 8 millimeters again. Then from this point draw a horizontal line of 8 millimeters. Then connect these 2 points with a thick line to get this particular face. Okay, now one important point we have to understand over here, that if object is symmetric about the horizontal axis, then we must draw that horizontal center line first in the top view, because that will help us in drawing the other features of the object. You can see that this object is symmetric about this horizontal line. Means if I cut this object exactly from center, I will get front half, back half. Both are of same shape and size. So this object has horizontal axis of symmetry. So what we will do next, the total width of the object is 36. So at the middle of this length, that is 18, we will draw a center line. And this center line will help us to draw various features of this particular object that we will see later on. Okay. Now after this, we will sketch the next parallel face in this object, and this is the next parallel face, and let us see how many points are there on that face. So there are 2 points visible to us. So pick any one point and locate that point with respect to first face plotted by us. So let us pick this point, and this point is exactly below this point of this face, and that point is over here. So from this point I can start the drawing of the next face. So the length of next face is 28 millimeters. So from this point we will sketch a length of 28 millimeters, and we have reached to this point. Then we will draw its width again, that is 36. So from this point draw its width of 36, then again draw its length to complete the face, and that length will be again of 28 millimeters. Now you can see we are ready with the next face as well. Now let us plot the last face, and rules are again same. See how many points are there. There are 4 points on this face. Pick any one point and locate that point with respect to any of the previous 2 faces drawn by us. Now if we will pick this point is just above this point, and that point is over here. It means from this point I can start the drawing of next face. So from this point I will sketch this length of 8 millimeters, and then I will sketch its width of 36 millimeters, then again sketch its length of 8 millimeters. So you can see we are ready with the third parallel face as well. Now after that we will represent these two curved surfaces. Now when you will look at cylinder either from front or from top, which is lying in horizontal position, then it will give us a projection of rectangle only. So when you will look at this cylinder from top, you will see this curved surface again as a rectangle. So in the top view, the length of rectangle will be equal to 15 and width of the rectangle will be equal to the diameter, this diameter, because this diameter is visible from top and both diameters of course are same. So it is again how much? It is again of 24 mm. So with the same method we will draw a rectangle over here, that is from this center line we will mark a point at 12 mm. Then from that point we will sketch a length of 15 millimeters. So this is 12 millimeters and then we have to sketch a length of 15 millimeters. Then from the same center line we will mark a point at 12 millimeters in downward direction. Then from that point we will sketch a length of 15 millimeters. Then we will join these two points. Now you can see this is the top view of this particular face. So same we will do on the right side of the object. From center line measure 12 millimeters and then draw 15 mm length. From center line measure 12 millimeters, again draw 15 mm length, then connect those two points to get the second rectangle. So these two rectangles are representing these two curved surfaces. Now after that we know we have to represent these holes. So let us start with the visible hole first. So let us locate its center. Now you can see we have already plotted its horizontal center line and we have taken projection from this center line from the front view. So where these two will intersect, that will give us the center of that particular hole. So what we will do, we will put compass at this center and we will open compass equal to 5 millimeters because total dia is 10. Over here it is mentioned. So put your compass at this center, open compass equal to 5 mm and draw a circle. So before that you can draw a center line on the projector and with the help of compass complete the circle. Okay, so after this now we have to represent these two holes and these are horizontal holes. It means in the top view we have to draw horizontal lines for them. So again method is same. From the center line measure a distance equal to half of the diameter of the hole. Diameter is 14. So from center line 7 this side, from center line 7 other side and draw two continuous thick lines in both the plates. Similarly on other side, from this center line 7 this side, half of the diameter of hole, 7 mm this side, and from those 2 points construct dash medium lines in both the plates. Now you can see we are ready with the top view of this object as well, and the next step is we should place dimensions. So let us first place its total height, it is 48 millimeters, and then let us place its total length. Now total length is how much? 44 plus 15 plus 15, so it is 74 millimeters. Then we will place total width, then we will place remaining height dimensions, then we will place the diameter of this cylinder and we have to add 5 in front of that dimension. Then we have to also convey the diameter of the hole and add 5 in the front of dimension, and after that we will show the remaining length dimensions. And we have to place this diameter as well, it is of 5 10 mm, and this dimension we can place at the top, which is 28 millimeters. So we are ready with the dimensions as well. So I hope the answer of this particular question is clear to you. Thank you very much.